That hurt.
Welcome to the Straight Red Card. Yes, this is the new version of Thursday. We're going to do some, shorts. Things that will maybe help the algorithm. I don't know.
Shorts, but just recorded videos. Shorts,
recorded recorded videos. Did I probably said the whole word? All right, anyhow. So we're going to start with this MLS topic, Brett, which is MLS. They got a whole new thing going on season-wise. Some people freaking out about it.
Losing their ever-loving mind. Basically, MLS has decided to go. They were for all of today. They were voting on whether or not they're going to go with an international schedule. Basically, a summer through spring schedule, like most of Europe. Basically,
can I say this?
Yeah.
So they put out a video today. So they already knew how the vote was going to go. They'd already been on the phones together.
Mm-hmm.
They'd already talked together. Garber.
I'm sure they figured this out well before the vote.
Yeah, they already knew they had the votes, so that's why they were able to put out a video today about the new schedule and all that stuff. Yeah.
So before we obviously let's see here. We got the actual not sharing thing. Let's share it. How about we share first?
Sure. Let's do it.
Okay. So we have the actual statement by MLS. Said Major League Soccer today announced a shift in its competition's calendar, aligning the league schedule with the world's top soccer leagues. Beginning the summer of 2027, MLS will adopt a summer to spring season format, marking one of the most significant developments in the league's history.
Oh, well, okay. That's great. I mean, I don't know if it's that significant. I think signing David Beckham was more a bigger move.
Messi's even bigger than all of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think Beckham was bigger because he took the league from
from
nothing to something.
I mean, he was the designated player.
Right. Exactly. He changed everything.
Of that, yeah. So this is basically what Garber went on to talking about as far as why this is a big step.
Yeah. He said,
go ahead.
You want me to read it? All right.
Yeah, go for it.
Aligning our schedule with the world's top leagues will strengthen our club's global competitiveness, create better opportunities in the transfer market, and ensure our Audi MLS Cup playoffs take center stage without interruption. It marks the start of a new era for our league and for soccer in North America. Okay, yeah, I guess that sums it up. So why are we freaking out? What's the freak out part? I'm just like
the big freak out part was,
okay,
we were going to be playing all these games in the dead of winter in Toronto where your leg will fall off.
Well, they'll reschedule the Toronto games in December and February for away games against teams that aren't freezing their nuts off. It's not that hard to do.
Yeah, well, that's why I said they're gonna front load and back load.
Yes,
the Northern clubs games.
This is not difficult.
There's going to be a spell where you're not going to have a significant chunk of change of home games. So, as the schedule is now, literally nothing changes. First off, nothing changes here except for we take a break during June. That's the only difference, because we still take the finals go all the way up through December anyways. And then we start at the end of February.
And if you suck and you're an MLS team, you're already out in May. No biggie deal. You get May and June.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no different than if you're out in October like Chicago was, or anybody the first second rounders.
And the July kickoff isn't at the beginning of July. All right. It's not a big deal. It'll be hot. It's going to be hot in August too. Big fucking deal. All the Germany's been doing this for years. A fucking winter break from December until mid or whatever in February. So we're going to take one too.
And Bundesliga is roughly 4 to 6 weeks.
So if you're Toronto, you won't have any home games for 2 games in December and 2 and maybe 3 games in February, but just 2 and 2, probably, the way this is going to work out. So you're going to just not have home games for 2 games in December and maybe 3 games, but probably 2 games in February.
Potentially not even that. Potentially they might have at least 1 or 2 in there, because Chicago had their home opener March 2nd. The second week of the league. It was still super fucking cold there.
Exactly. And people, Deal with it. So what? You're playing in cold weather.
Wear a coat. Get some
wear
gloves on.
Wear a fucking coat. Grow a pair of balls.
The only
It's
people that
not
should
a
be
big
bitching
deal.
about this are the people on the field who are freezing their nutsicles off, you know?
Exactly. Otherwise, this is not a big deal. This is what everybody does. And I get it. You don't like it because you don't want to go to a cold game. But you know what? Try going in the Midwest or a lot of other places to a summer game, a really hot summer game.
Oof.
All right. It's bad too. We all have to endure something. Suck it up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right.
So I asked Lawless. Apparently, MLS is switching to an international calendar before they announce it, of course. Apparently, switching to the international calendar will bring upon the end of days. Do you think we should switch, or should we keep it the way they are?
He says,
Lawless.
MLS switching to a traditional fall summer club calendar in 2027 has pros and cons, but the good outweighs the bad, and it's a net positive. I do think it's a missed opportunity not kicking off the massive change in the fall of 2026, immediately following the World Cup. Wow, I couldn't have agreed with almost everything he said. Of course, there are pros and cons. There are pros and cons to almost every decision in life. But yes, of course, the good outweighs the bad. In so many ways, it puts us on the schedule of the rest of most of the, top leagues in the world. This is good. And
I think, let's see here. He doesn't mention it, but one of the big things that I always brought up all day today. I mean, I posted way too fucking much today on Twitter. I mean,
we'll go over some of them.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest net positive that I post on there when people are like, I don't know, this doesn't have any benefits. Well, I'm like, well, I mean, what constant? Well, this is all has to do with aligning with the summer transfer windows, because we talk about this all the time. The European squads spend almost all of their money in the summer.
Yes.
They spend very little in the winter. An occasional blockbuster move, sure. 14, 20 mil might happen once in a while. Yep. But they're all predominantly like 1 or 2 million little pieces moving around the boards here. All the big moves happen in the summer. And you know who doesn't want to offload their players in the summer? MLS. They don't want to offload their best players in the middle of the season.
Middle of the season? Right. And if, let's just say, just for devil's advocates argument, there was no benefit in doing this at all, which there is. Who fucking cares? Who cares then? Why do you care so much then if there's no benefit? Unless you think there's a shitload of negatives. Like, what are those? Well, you had some, so I'll let you continue.
So I said, what constitutes as good? MLS good or the rest of the world good? I think the value these players bring to MLS squads and the value the players bring to MLS squad inflates their price compared to what they would get with European squads. Basically, this entire thing is just me specifying that MLS inflates the value of players that teams in the winter aren't going to want to spend, and MLS teams won't want to get rid of. And Arturo does say, case in point, Max Arfson.
Yes.
At which point I asked Rock just to verify the information. Well, I guess while we're waiting for it to load, it says Toulouse submitted an initial bid of $2 million. Columbus rejected it because it fell short of the 3 to 3.5 million that they wanted. And then in August, Middlesbrough came back with a $3 million bid, and Columbus again rejected it, stating that they weren't open to selling. They weren't open to selling mid-season.
Yes,
right there.
Problem over with.
That's the point, right?
Problem over with. Max Arfson, we're doing in a different system, is already playing in Middlesbrough right now as a left winger or a left back or, God forbid, something else. But he'd be there. But a lot of MLS teams won't sell during midseason. This doesn't help these players. Doesn't help. So now we won't be dealing with these funky transfer offers that never go through because no team wants to sell a good player in midseason. You can force the deal, which happened with Ajiman. And of course, then that left him with no scorer for the rest of the season. So
along with the international schedule, they talked about potentially scheduling them in groups, similar to like how NFL does it to an extent. where you
Yes.
have these group of teams where they're going to play home and away against those teams, and then they're going to play everybody else in the league once.
So I already discussed this, funny enough, in 2011. I said the Garber model and the MLS model would be to expand like the NFL and then set up divisions like NFL.
Yep.
I mean, am I fucking Nostradamus? Or was I just completely fucking right? Absolutely, I was completely fucking right.
Let's see. I'll open this up on a new tab so we can take a look at that. What we'd be looking at, okay? You'd have a Northwest, it looks like.
Yep.
Kind of a South, a Midwest, a South, and then a Northeast.
And a Northeast, yep.
So you'd have like, I wouldn't be surprised if MLS did this, where they actually sold the sponsorship deal for the groups. The Michelob Ultra, Hipster Highlands.
I don't think it's going to be Hipster Islands, but yeah.
Yeah. DoorDash,
By the way,
Tacos and Traffic, United Flyover Force. Ouch, that hurts.
Yep, it does. We're not flyover people. People live here. By the way, as we're talking about this, I just want to throw in live. I am watching Trinidad, Tobago, and Jamaica play one of the most awful games ever in World Cup qualifying history. They're both awful. They're awful. They're awful. This is an awful game. It's been awful to watch. Horrible. All right, go ahead. Sorry, Brett.
So, I mean, obviously, this would be to a way of generating, because you can't. We have 30 teams right now, currently speaking, and it's only going to increase.
Yep.
You can't have a traditional single table where every team plays every team twice, home and away. Because you'd have like a 60-game season or 58-game season. Let me phrase that.
Especially when we get to 36 teams, which don't be surprised. That's what we're going to end up with.
You'd have a game every Wednesday and Saturday for the 10 months that we play.
Remember when there were morons who told me I was an idiot for saying we're at least, you can guarantee we're going to 24 and guarantee we're going to 28. They're like, oh, you're a fucking moron.
You're a moron.
We don't have enough players to do that. Well, dumbass, they're just going to go out and get players. Stupid ass. And anyhow, so yeah, this is what we're going to get, and that's okay. I'm fine with it. I really don't care either way. There's no way we could make this a traditional system unless you got 40 teams and you make East and West 20 and 20 or something like that. But I don't care how they do it. I really don't.
Well, and I guess if they're going to an actual single table, there's still going to be that bit of bickering that you're going to sit there and go like, well, I had to play I had to play whatever Columbus and Cincinnati twice, home and away. And I only got to play LA Galaxy and Colorado once, where you guys got to play them twice. What the hell?
So it'll be the same complaints NFL fans have, and that's even more random.
Yeah.
So
I guess the single table ends up putting away the 9 from each West and East divisions, I guess.
Yep.
When it comes to playoffs, and they're just going to take the top 45 teams to go into the playoffs.
Yep.
160%. 160% of the teams make the playoffs. They're talking about teams that aren't even here yet. Hey, you're in the playoffs.
Yep, you're in it. All right. Yeah, true.
This is but I mentioned how I've been very active today on Twitter. I mean, I've talked to a lot of people who are pushing back on this, and there was a lot of people who liked it too. I sent you a picture of one of my tweets to Lawless. It was a response to his response. And at the time, he only had like 8.2 thousand views on his post.
Yeah, weird.
But I had like 15.2. I'm like, there has to be something wrong here. How is it possible that I'm getting? I would imagine that they're looking at my post, that they're indirectly looking at his post too.
No. As I understand what they're doing right now on Twitter is, if your response is better than the actual first post, they're putting your post up first.
And I guess that's true in the fact that people could just see my post in the feed, and they don't actually dig in to find out what I was replying to, and they just reply to that, or they just see that and move on. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's what's happening. Yep.
This is some of the type of talking points that we saw, and this has no way in reference to some of these people who just make their claims, whether or not they're good or bad claims. I mean, we may say they're good or bad for various reasons, but Michael Boston says, would absolutely kill attendance. I'm not taking my 3 and 10-year-old to a 9-degree match in January.
Where does he live?
Well, 9 degree would lead me to believe Chicago, New York.
If you hover
Toronto.
on him, they'll tell you.
I mean, it won't tell me exactly. Maybe if he puts it in there. Hold on.
Used to. All right, yeah. So I cry tears of nothing for you, honestly. So what? You won't be able to go to a game in January. I don't know who your team is.
Well, there's no games in January, first off.
That's true. Why is he putting January? There aren't any games in January.
Tom Bogert posted the snippet where it says that they'd be taking a break between December and February.
What an idiot. At least get your fucking information right first. No, in January, I won't be taking my 3-year-old. There are no games in January, moron. You fucking moron. At least do some basic research before bitching like a little bitch on fucking Twitter about something you obviously have no fucking done zero looking into. Listen, that's the thing. You get people bitching about shit they don't even know about. And you got more people bitching. There you go. So competing with the NFL, Major League Baseball, NHL, and NBA, college and basketball in the fall, MLB, NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs in the spring. Good luck. Fuck you.
It's already happening, my man. Guys,
yes, it's already
I don't understand this argument. We play a 10-month window. We play in a 10-month window from February through December. Now, mind you, not all of December, not all of February, but it's still a 10-month window. Guess what happens during that 10 months? We have to compete with MLB, NFL, NBA, NHL, lacrosse, rugby, racing, golf, tennis.
You know what we're cutting out, Brett? Competing with the NFL.
College.
All of half of December. All of January, the Super Bowl, all cut out. We no longer compete against them at all in that time period. This is a good thing.
But people will throw that back in your face and say that, well, we're getting rid of at least a month and some change of where there was no NFL by having the offseason be during June,
month.
July.
Oh my God, a month of NFL. Well, I don't know if you've noticed, but we've been competing with NFL for most of the regular season of the NFL. So that's a dumbass thing to say.
We are the redheaded stepchild of the redheaded stepchild of the NFL. There's no way that even if we are competing against them, that it's going to make any difference with us. People who are going to go to MLS games are still going to go to MLS games. People who are going to go to NFL are going to go to NFL. It won't matter. Yes. We've done it for decades. For decades, guys, since the MLS came into fruition. We've been competing with NFL for a chunk of their season.
Yes, already happening. Suffices as a perfect answer to your dumb post. Already happening. Move on.
Name me a sport that MLS is not competing with at some point.
Darts.
No, that's I imagine that's year round, Derek. I imagine.
For the most part, it is. Yes.
No, but there's not between what sport only occurs between December and February. That's it. Those months right there. Those months. What happens? Anything that's just in those months? No, because they split. It's split throughout that time period. Maybe it's only a portion of NBA, but we do have to face them in the playoffs consistently. We have to deal with March Madness. We got to deal with college football because our games are on Saturday at the same time as college football.
Yes. This is the dumbest comment I have read in a while. Although you got more coming.
Maybe.
Do you? Or is that it?
No. So Phil posts basically how like what we're saying basically. Hey, the season started in February. It ends in we have a playoff game in November. Maybe Philly has to or Cincinnati has to go play whatever, you know. And he explains that. This was the most recent back and forth I had. But Notorious GMT says
let me do his voice. No, he's a friend of the show, right?
Yeah, he chimes in from time to time. So I don't want this being a bashing of him by any means.
No, I'm not going to bash him. He says simple, the best games of the year are June, July. For you. The weather is beautiful. For you. The kids are out of school, so families attend. That's nice. The games always sell out. I'm sure they're going to still sell out. Now those games are gone because a Europe-based focus group said we should be more like them. That's not really why... That's not why this is happening. But go ahead, Brent.
I mean, the summer games, families still attend all the other games. because they happen on Saturday
Yes.
for the most part.
Right.
And guess what? When the games happen on a Wednesday on a school night for like U.S. Open Cup or just a random weekday game, guess what? The attendance takes a hit. 100%. Not everybody can get off their work schedule and get to the field by 7:30 or bring their family, or maybe the family has other activities that planned or whatever, maybe 7:30 is just too late for the family to go to. That happens. But you know what's not going to change? Saturday games, Sunday games. Those are still going to be ample times for people to go. Anywhere between 1 p.m. and 7:30 local time, of course.
And this league still starts in the summer. So you're going to be all right, Notorious. Just buy your tickets to a different game in the summer. You're going to be fine. Anyhow, they're not really worried about you. And that's no offense to you, but they're not worried about you. Go ahead.
Well, I said here in Indy, June, July, and August, maybe 95 degrees, 100% humidity with no wind. Summer games are my least favorite. Spring and fall are more up my alley. Plus, the family games can go to 90% of the games because they still take place during the weekend. Do you want to continue going back and forth?
In my household, weekends during the school year, we're still in bed by 8:30 to keep the school routine. That's fine. I did it too. In the summer, you can play the games at night when it's like 75.
Real quick.
Mm-hmm.
When you went to an Indy 11 game and it's 7:30, July, August,
I don't care.
Is it 75 degrees at night at that point, 7:30?
Not really.
That sun is still beaming overhead. It has an hour and a half yet to set.
It's hot.
It's still hot.
7:30. It's still hot. It didn't stop me from taking my Sunday games, and he was in middle school. So I don't know. Just another non-MLS ticket holder weighing in. You're welcome to weigh in, and you should. That's your right.
He's referring to me.
Oh.
At least I think he's referring to me in this.
Just another non-MLS season ticket holder weighing in on shit they know nothing about. I think he's saying, I'm speaking for me here. All right?
Oh, so, see now, Notorious, if that's how you worded it, I apologize, because I interpreted that as you saying that I was the non-season ticket holder, because I did chime in and say, weekends were open in my household, even with temps decreasing. You can still cut the humidity with a knife, but it's still high 80s, low 90s at 7:30 in June, July, as the sun doesn't set for another hour and a half. I've been a Fire fan since 98. Being from Indy, you're right. I'm not a season ticket holder, but I've been a supporter through the good times and the bad times. I've attended many games throughout the decades. But if you gauge the fandom of the league as those who can regularly attend the games, MLS will never grow. Enjoy the rest of your night. It's nearly 8:30.
Well, good response. I would just say you misunderstood what he said, and that's fine. It doesn't really matter.
Here you go.
Doesn't really matter.
Stop talking.
So stop talking. They should poll season ticket holders on what they prefer. And no, they shouldn't. Because guess what? We're not talking that big of a shift here. It's really not. We're just taking out the coldest part of the year, the absolute most ridiculous coldest part of the year, and the rest of it's really not going to change that much. So I just don't understand what the problem is here. I don't get it. I really don't. I had kids. I took my kids to games. Brett has kids. He takes his kids to games. I don't see the issue. And you know what? You're talking about your specific geographical area. Well, the world doesn't revolve around you. Okay? It doesn't. Get used to it, because that's a fact, Jack. And I don't think most fans are going to really, in the end, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. So there's that. All right. I think we're done.
I got one more guy.
Well, you got one more. Okay.
Yep, I just got to navigate to the initial post that started this all. So I ended up asking Lawless, what would you do during that basically January through May because he was talking about the new season format taking off after the World Cup, rolling with the hype of the World Cup. And I said, okay, that's fair. But what would you do between January through May before the World Cup for all those players? Because there's a bunch of players in MLS that are going to the World Cup, especially with it being extended. MLS, you have Canada, US, and Mexico, but then you have all the other CONCACAF teams too. All the players that are playing for African teams that are going over that are going to be here. So what are you going to do with all these players? And he talked about basically just starting a mini rush season or whatever during that time period, ending with a small tournament, et cetera, et cetera. So Eric said Eric said the same thing about kicking off after World Cup and blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. So this guy says Americans really don't know soccer. I'm assuming probably football is my guess.
Hey, Negro Lomas, take that comment and shove it up your fucking rectum.
So I had a back and forth with him, and I thought, because he retweeted a couple of my responses, I thought that we were finally on the same page and everything like that. But then it just went south again. Like he had said, well, you just take the League's Cup and you put it in between the December through February break. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. That would fill the void.
Yes.
And then he goes, there was never a void. And I go, yes, there was. There was a void. Let's pull it up here. I go, there was a void. There was a void whenever we took the break during the winter break.
Yep.
By implementing the international calendar. And basically he goes, no duh. I mean, he said much more than no duh. But I'm just like, wait, what the hell happened? We went from agreeing with you to you disagreeing that there was a void. I explained what the void is. And
then
you're like,
you say,
no duh.
I just think a lot of time you're arguing with idiots. And this is an example of that. Somebody who can't follow a fucking simple argument. So, avatar for a profile pic brought, like, how hard is it to scroll over your name and find out that the show are hosted by Derek Ritchie and Brett Corbett?
And hey, look at that. What's that blue bunch of letters and symbols underneath?
A YouTube channel in which you can see us.
Right here, guys, right here. And that's why I told him, I go, dude, I'm not anonymous if that's your concern. That was from the original one, because he does say.
What a lazy fuck.
He said, babbling from an avatar. I'm like, yeah, I'm not anonymous, bro. You can find out who I am any time of the week. You can find out who I am, what I look like. I'm on the internet. Even though I'm not a very popular public figure, I'm kind of a public figure at this point.
Yeah, exactly. When it comes to soccer, like, not everybody knows us. That's fine. But
yeah,
I mean, a lot of the people that cover the game know who we are. All the major journalists know who we are. A lot of all the other shows that do these kind of shows know who we are. Mm-hmm. They all know who we are. So if you don't know who we are, that makes you the idiot, not us. And it makes you incompetent that you can't just scroll over the logo and find out who you're talking to, dumbass.
I told him, I go, bro, it's a podcast. Feel free to listen. We're on X and YouTube. And he goes, I just got done hearing you babbling. What the fuck would I want to listen to you on a podcast? I'm like, listen to it. Don't listen to it. It's no skin off my back.
Yeah, shove it up your butt. What an idiot.
That hurt.